Welcome to Petflix. I'm Trisha Plovey with Canine Companions Rescue Center and the host of Petflix. Canine Companions Rescue Center is a nonprofit 501c3 corporation founded in 2004 for the purpose of working with the community and area animal control agencies to promote the adoption of dogs without families. It is our goal to rescue dogs with good family potential. If our adopters and our dogs are both happier after the match, then we've done our job. Our special guest this week on Petflix is Joni Toole, Chief at Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center. So Joni, I'm just curious, what is the function of the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center?
The function is to enforce the Michigan State Dog Law, which was enacted in 1919.
Okay.
So it's been around for quite a while. What it's for is the protection of the public against rabies, making sure that dogs don't run loose, that livestock doesn't run on highways and such things like that. But we also operate an animal shelter. So the dogs that we do pick up stray running are brought to the animal shelter. They're housed to give their owners a chance to find them. We also take in cats as well, although we don't pick up cats. We will accept them at the shelter.
Okay.
And again, we'll hold them there if they are stray to give their owners a chance to find them. And then after that, we start our adoption process. We vet check them, make sure they're healthy, make sure that they're not aggressive, they're not going to hurt anybody. And then we spay and neuter them and we put them up for adoption.
Okay. I'm just curious, how long do you hold them for, in case an owner is looking for them and seeking for them?
Yes. Michigan state law says that we have to hold them 4 business days if they don't have any identification on them. We have to hold them 7 business days if they do have a tag or a microchip on them. And those are business days. It's not including the weekends. So you would have the Monday through Friday.
Of time, you would think, for someone.
Yes,
I'm sure that's the first thing people do is check animal shelter and see
I would hope.
They're there.
Yeah, the first thing that a lot of people do is probably call their non-emergency police department number, and then they should be telling them you should check the shelter. We also list our stray animals on our website. And we also have our adoptables there too. So if you are missing your pet, yeah, you need to
can check the website out.
check the website. You can call us. We'll give you other resources, put up flyers, grocery stores, party stores. Ask the kids in the neighborhood. They're a great source of information. They usually know what's going on. So yeah, there's some things that you need to do if you're missing your pet.
Okay, and what is the website they would go to check if they do have a pet that's missing?
It's oakgov.com/pet adoption.
Okay, excellent, good. And what does one, or how does one go about adopting the animals at the shelter? Like, what would that process be?
Basically, it's coming in and taking a look at our shelter. I always tell people, if they can, before they get to the shelter, do a little research. We like to match up pets to people's lifestyle, their activity level, their living arrangements, that type of thing. So if you get somebody coming in that lives in an apartment and they want a husky, it's not a real good mix.
Yeah.
Although sometimes it can be. Not all huskies are full of energy and want to run a lot, but the majority of them are. So a lot of people go on just looks on what they want. And a lot of times you can't go that way. You really have to do your research and see what the breed was created for. If it's a high activity dog and you're a couch potato, it's not going to work. So basically you'll just come in and look at the dogs. You can take them out for a walk. We have a great property there on Brown Road, and we're also moving right now, so it's kind of hectic, but we will be moving over by the county complex at 1200 North Telegraph, and that'll be next month. So again, we'll have great property there that you can take the dogs for a walk. We have a little walking path, and just check them out, get to know them, see if they're, your personalities and theirs match, and then we have you fill out an adoption application, just some questions that we need to know about you. And then you pay the adoption fee and you take your forever best friend home.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And I've been to that facility a number of times, and it is nice the way you guys have it set up where you can go and walk them, in kind of a natural habitat versus being inside of the building, which is stressful to them.
It is. It's very stressful. It's noisy. It's got lots of smells. So yeah, if we can get them outside, and you can kind of bond with them, take them out in the pen, play ball with them, maybe some frisbee. then yeah, I think it works out a lot better that way.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned something really important as far as really knowing what kind of dog you're getting. Does that fit with your lifestyle? I would imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would imagine that's a big reason why dogs get returned or maybe they get surrendered.
Yeah, we see
that it doesn't meet their lifestyle.
Yeah, we see it every day. We do take owner relinquished animals. That's people, for whatever reason, they cannot keep their animal anymore, whether it be financial or they're moving or whatever. But yeah, the majority of them is they didn't think it through and they didn't get the proper pet. If they even needed a pet.
Right.
Some people just have such a hectic life that getting a dog is kind of not the best idea.
Right, maybe adding
a
to the chaos.
Maybe a cat. Cats are real easy. They want to be left alone a lot of times, and they'll come up to you on their terms. But dogs, they need lots of exercise. They want that attention. You gotta walk them. You don't want them to get so fat that they're, can't walk anymore.
Right, and unhealthy.
But yeah, we see that a lot. And then we also see that they get brought back because they don't have the time to train the dog. Dogs just don't come out of a package like all trained and ready to go.
And perfect.
You've got to put some effort into it and teach your dog manners and not to jump on the neighbor kids and keep them at home. Don't let them roam the neighborhood, that type of thing. So those are a lot of the reasons why we see dogs come through our facility. And it's sad. It can be very sad.
It is sad. But they say that the dogs pick us, right?
That's true.
They pick the right owner. So, and then what should someone do if they've been bitten by a dog? What happens then?
If you get bit by a dog, first of all, if it's severe enough, you should probably call 911 and get an ambulance out there. If it's not severe, what you can do is contact your non-emergency police department number, or you can contact animal control. Whichever number comes to mind first. And your police department will guide you to whatever animal control agency that you need to. But here in Clarkston, it would be us, and you would contact our dispatch center, and we would send an officer out. We want to make sure that that dog is vaccinated for rabies. We also want to make sure that the owner is responsible enough to do a quarantine. Every dog that bites or cat, either bite or scratch, has to be quarantined for 10 days. That's
in their own home?
It depends.
Okay.
If the officer doesn't feel as though the owner is responsible enough to quarantine that dog, then we will take it into the shelter and quarantine it there, or we'll give them an option to take it to their own personal vet and have it quarantined there.
Okay.
If the dog's running loose, if it's a severe bite, we'll take the dog and we'll quarantine it. It's all about public safety, and we just want to make sure that that animal doesn't have rabies. It's been a really, really long time since the dog has had rabies, but there's always that possibility.
Right, it's a chance you don't want to take.
Exactly, and we don't want a dog roaming neighborhoods that have the possibility to hurt somebody or hurt another animal. I mean, we get a lot of those calls nowadays. When I first started 30 years ago, we didn't have that many what we call dog-on-dog attacks. Now it's just daily. We get dog-on-dog attacks. I think a lot of it is irresponsible owners. They open the door and they think it's okay for their dog to just go roam around the neighborhood, and it's not. And every dog is so different. I mean, my dog could love this dog and hate this dog. So you really got to be careful with how you introduce your dogs. Now there's dog parks that people take them and they mix them all together and different personalities, and they don't get along. So you got to really be careful and be smart so that your pet stays safe.
Sure.
And make sure that your pet isn't going to hurt somebody else. That's where that training comes into mind. If your dog's trained and it's not roaming the neighborhood, it won't jump up on a kid. It won't want to.
She wants your attention.
But I know, she's so cute. So you just really want to make sure that you train your dog. Make sure you keep him at home. And if you are ever bitten, you want to contact your animal control agency so that we can get that dog quarantined and make sure that you're okay.
Okay, excellent. That's great advice. And then what should we do if we see a dog in stress? in some sort of distress situation?
We do get a lot of calls about dogs hit by cars. Again, irresponsible owners letting their dogs roam the neighborhood. You would contact either your police department or you can contact us directly. We have an on-call officer 24/7. So if a dog gets hit on the weekend or at night, we can come and get that dog. We have a special fund that we set up a long time ago that will take the dogs that are hit by cars and take them to local vets because we don't have a vet center at the shelter.
Okay.
We'll take them to a local veterinarian. We have a few that we use, and they're more than welcoming to have us bring the injured animal there and take them in and do what they need to do, and then they bill us for it. So yeah, if you see an animal in distress that way, you contact your animal control agency or your police department. Another way of an animal being in distress is if you see a dog that has no food, water, or shelter, is tied out in the yard, or a dog in a parked car when it's 90 out.
Which is scary.
It's very scary. So you need to, the dog in the parked car, I would definitely just call 911 and get the police out there. They'll contact us if they need our assistance. The dog in the yard tied up with no food or water, yeah, it's not nice, is it? You'd contact your animal control agency and we can come out and kind of educate the owner that the dog does, by state law, needs to have a dog house, needs to be insulated. Your dog needs to be provided with water at all times. Not necessarily food at all times, but we want to make sure that we're looking at a dog that is maintaining weight. If we go out and the dog is skin and bones, we can see its ribs, something's not right there. So we're going to have you take it to your vet, and we want to report on why this dog is so skinny. A lot of cruelties that way. We see that a lot. So we just want to educate everybody and make sure that they are aware that their dog needs shelter and food and water. So,
which for humans, I mean, those are the basic necessities, right?
exactly. But you'd be surprised at how many people don't do that for their animals. They leave them just tied out to a tree in the sun. They'll leave them tied out when it's raining with no shelter. And in those situations, we can just come and take the dog. And we've done that several times. We do it for the safety of the animal. But yeah, you want to make sure that you provide your animal with shelter.
Okay, good. And then what other programs do you offer at the shelter?
We do have a volunteer program, which we love our volunteers. We have a core of about 50 volunteers that come throughout the week and the weekends. They even come on the weekends and walk the dogs. Their goal is to get every dog out of the shelter and walked. And they do it. And we love them for it. So if you're interested in doing something like that, walking a dog, you can sign up for our volunteer orientation and we'll teach you the ropes, and then you can come. We don't have any set times or anything, and we don't have any minimum hours or anything like that.
Okay.
And it's a great place for kids to get their community service hours.
I was going to ask about that. My daughter needs to get a few more, so.
Yes, it's a great place to do that.
Okay. Do they have to be a certain age, or?
If they are 6 to 18, usually we want the parent, or 6 to 17, I should say. We usually want the parent there.
Okay.
But if they're 17 on the verge of 18 and they're responsible, a lot of times we'll let them come by themselves.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a great way for kids to get their community service hours, and we love the kids. They're so energetic and they like to get the dogs out. But yeah, that's one great program that we have, the volunteer program. Another thing is our education program, which I love, that's my favorite. Taking the dogs to local schools and teaching the kids how to be safe around the animals and how to be a responsible pet owner. So I think getting them in that elementary age and telling them that they need to keep their dog at home, they need to give them food and water and shelter and take them to the vet. I think that really helps, yes.
Well, hopefully it plants the seed early enough, right,
yes,
that as they become adults,
yes,
they know the proper way to take care of a dog.
I think that's the only way we're going to turn this around, I think.
Yeah.
I can't teach an old dog new tricks, can ya? Sometimes you can. But yeah, those are some of the great programs that we have at the animal shelter.
Good, that's wonderful. And then are there resources for people that cannot afford veterinary care for their animals that you know of?
We do have some resources that we can point people in the direction of, low cost to free vet care for their animal. We also have resources of some, I don't want to say rescue groups, but groups that will give out food and dog houses and a straw in the winter. So if you're struggling and you need to provide that stuff for your animal and you don't want to give them up, trust me, we don't want to see your dog or your cat either. We would like to see it stay at home. So if you're struggling and you need those resources, by all means, visit us at our website, or you can call the shelter or even come down.
Okay, and have that conversation in person and see what is available.
There's a few clinics that will provide you with free or no cost, or free or low cost veterinary care.
That's good to know.
Yes,
because it can get expensive, and you wouldn't want a dog to not be kept up on their shots because somebody couldn't afford it.
It's it's very expensive. It really is. And that's another thing that you got to realize too when you go to adopt a dog, is that they do cost money.
Yes, not just the adoption fee if there is one.
Yes,
and,
the food, the vet care, all the little sweaters. Yeah, it's not cheap.
Excellent. And then are there some tips to keep your pets happy and healthy that you can share with us?
I would just make sure that you're feeding them. You don't have to buy the most expensive dog food. Medium grade is fine, but you don't want to overfeed and you don't want to underfeed. You also want to make sure that they go to the vet at least once a year. And make sure that they don't roam, because we find a lot of animals that do come in that have been roaming, they've gotten into something, they've eaten something. We've had to take dogs to the vets to get emergency surgery because they've eaten something and it's blocked. Or they're sick, they're very, very sick. So they can get into all kinds of mischief when they're running around loose like that, so just keep them at home.
Which is a wise idea.
Exactly.
And then what other types of animals do you encounter at the shelter besides these beautiful little dogs?
Well, we didn't really touch a whole lot on cats, but we do have cats. And I've seen lizards, I've seen cougars, I've seen prairie dogs, birds, you name it, we've pretty much seen it.
Prairie dogs.
Yes, a prairie dog. It bit somebody.
Oh, no. So it was somebody's pet and it bit somebody?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we've had a monkey that bit somebody too. So, yeah, so we have seen it all. Alligators too. We get alligators as well.
Oh
so
my gosh.
Those we usually ship to the Michigan Humane Society because they're better equipped to handle that kind of thing.
Okay.
We're more of a dog cat. We do see some bunnies and some guinea pigs and stuff like that. Those we can accommodate, but the exotics like the alligators and the cougars, no.
Not so much.
We don't have the facilities for that.
That's awesome. And did you want to talk a little bit about who you brought with us today?
Yes.
And
this is Cindy, and this is Barbie, and they're all dressed up today. They were found stray in the city of Pontiac. They were tied to a tree. And then we picked them up on our truck and brought to the shelter. Their owner never came and found them. That's another thing too. If you're missing your dog, especially cats, we get a lot of cats in that people just don't come looking for. But we do get cats in. So if you're missing your cat, please, by all means, visit our website or call us or come on down to the shelter.
See if it's there.
Yes. But these guys are quite young. I'd probably say 1 to 2.
Okay.
They are a bonded pair. They need to be adopted together because they love each other. Yes, you do. They're very sweet. I mean, for Chihuahuas have that reputation of being a little nippy, being a little loud and boisterous.
Yappy.
But these guys are just the total opposite, and they want to play. They really want to play. So they're great together. They just like to play and play with their toys, and they're quite happy. So we're hoping to find a really good home that will take both of them in and just give them, that second chance at life.
I agree. They're so wonderful. I'd love to take you in, but I have a lot at home already. So excellent. And then where can you give the website one more time if you don't mind, as far as if they want to inquire about Cindy and Barbie?
Certainly. It's oakgov.com, /pet adoption.
Excellent. Thank you. We really appreciate you being our guest today. We learned a lot.
Oh, we love being here.
And we'd love to have you back on again sometime.
Oh, awesome.
So, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have our 2018 calendar out for Canine Companions Rescue Center. We have over 140 adorable CCRC dogs and photos of them throughout the calendar. I've seen copies of it. It's amazing, and there are pictures up on the screen. So for more information on getting your hands on that calendar, you can find out more at ccrcdogs.com on the calendar. And next, our pet tip of the week. Please keep school supplies out of your pet's reach. Fall is prime time, back to school time, and those of you with young children know that that means stocking up on items like glue sticks, pencils, magic markers. Although these items are considered low toxicity to pets, it can upset their stomachs. It can cause blockages if they're ingested, so please be sure your children keep their school supplies out of your pet's reach, please. We have an update on our featured dog of the week from our last episode. So Danica Patrick was who we featured, the frisbee catching dog, if you'll remember. She is still available for adoption. If you would like to learn more about her and her fabulousness, you can find out more at ccrcdogs.com. You can also fill out an application if you want to learn more about her at ccrcdogs.com. Our featured dog this week is Blackie, and Blackie's a 4-month-old Whippet Retriever mix. Blackie loves to nap in the sun and lay next to you on the couch, but he also loves to play in the yard. He's super friendly. He gets along with dogs, children, adults. He's very food motivated. He loves his food, and he's currently learning how to sit. Blackie is currently available for adoption through Canine Companions Rescue Center. If you'd like to learn more about Blackie and fill out an application for adoption, you can do that at ccrcdogs.com. Our upcoming events, so we've got a lot happening that we'd love to see, a big turnout for. Have you always wanted to bring an animal home from the zoo? I know that I have, for sure. Now's your chance. So you can stop by the Detroit Zoo on Friday, September 15th and September 16th for our second Meet Your Best Friend at the Zoo event. It's presented by Purina. We will have animals from over 40 participating groups waiting to meet you. We'd love to see you there. Then we also have the 28th annual September Fest. It will be held on September 23rd. More than 100 vendors will offer arts, crafts, specialty items, and more. There will be a classic car show, talent show, live music from the area's top artists, free contests, food vendors, and much more. There's also going to be a kids area which will feature a bounce house, inflatables, games, prizes, a petting zoo, and contests. It will run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it is located in downtown Ortonville. We also have another event. It's our 3rd annual Putts for Paws for you golfers out there. It's on Sunday, September 10th, and it's a golf and dinner banquet sponsored by Veterinary Home Care to benefit the Canine Stray Rescue League and then also Canine Companions Rescue Center. We would love to see you there. And we want to thank you again for tuning into Petflix today. We appreciate what you do with us and all of your contributions and just the connection that we have with you. And we hope that you will tune in next time for another exciting show filled with events, pet tips, and our pet of the week. Thank you so much.